children are the future of the country. And Yvonne Nelson School, just like Mama, had a class of 2024 graduation. And it happened on July 31. And at the same event, she inaugurated YN International School. So she's added a primary and JHS to her Just Like Mama, which was basically just for kids, creche. And apparently the parents called for it because they wanted, you know, they're doing so well with their kids. I'm sure they're able to mention their 1s and 2s and 3s. And so they wanted more of that. And
it's been a difficult past year for Yvonne Nelson. I mean, for a lot of people, a lot of young girls look up to her. She's graced our screens for the past decade and more, right? Through movies, often at times leading courses, right? So, for example, when we had the Doomsaw issue, she was at the forefront of it. And a lot of people thought she really did well mobilizing or using her star power or her convening power to push governments to get to act on our power crisis at the time. In the aftermath of her launching her book, she's had to deal with a lot of issues, right? Because when your personal issues are out there in the court of public opinion, so many people, and you know the funny thing about social media, like people who dare not talk to you in your face or even come close to you, all of a sudden are so emboldened to say all sorts of things to you as though they knew you from childhood, right?
But
so
they don't know anything,
right? And they're the loudest, really.
Yeah.
So it's been a long past year for her, like I said, in the aftermath of her book, all of the issues and all of that. So it's really great to see that she's still making strides. She's still out there trying to give back to society. When I saw the launch of her school, I was like, that's it. Go girl, go girl, go girl. Because
I like the fact that she took us through the process of, you know, starting from foundation of the school to where it is now, and the fact that they held the graduation at the present, you know, the new structure. She's done amazing to build a school from scratch, from creche to JHS. Ooh, kudos to her.
Yeah, we really wish her well. I hope that she's able to, like she's done in previous time, also use this to inspire the youngins in the school, the next generation. Hopefully,
I like that,
the next Yvonne Nelson is probably in that school. We don't know.
You never know. You never know. Let's take a look.
Phenomenon of littering. We will print out the signs below and post them at the main places in the community.
Oh my God. I want to go back to school.
Know the story about how I started Just Like Mama daycare, but my daughter Rin, when I had her, she was in school. I believe she was about 1 year 6 months, and I went around, you know, the East Legon Hills Enclave I got a school, and then I realized that she wasn't coming home with any new vocabulary. That was like my first realization. So I started asking myself questions that, it's a school, she has to come home and, say all these big words. I want to hear her say, words that I haven't taught her. So that wasn't happening. And then there was another time she came home with a bruise, and I was expecting the school to actually reach out to me before she got home and I noticed. But they did not. So I had to call the school and make all these inquiries and all of that. So, if you guys know me, you know that I'm very passionate when I'm doing so. I was just noting everything down, not on paper, but in my head. And I just said to myself that this school can do better, and this is something that I can actually do myself as a business. So I traveled, went out, got some stuff. I spoke to some people in education, principals of schools, people in education, and I started setting up a house. I got a house, I started setting it up, and then COVID happened. The lockdown happened. I was disappointed. I had invested a lot. Let me just fast forward to Yvonne Nelson International. We're doing so well at Just Like Mama. I just couldn't say, okay, the school ends with early years. It ends at kindergarten. Some parents were actually asking me, so what's next after our kids graduate? And in the beginning, I thought it was a joke, but I realized that it's because they've seen how well we're doing, the kind of care we're giving their kids. When it comes to the academics, you can find 3-year-olds reading. You guys saw everything today. They're reading Michelle Obama's book. They're reading Chimamanda's book. They're reading Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. So it's evident. I'm not just talking, the teachers are really working hard. We're not playing with our facilitators. We're paying attention to, the teaching and the care. So yes, the parents actually convinced me to start a primary school. So far so good. We have kids going to year 2 now. So we have year 1, year 2. And of course, we're hoping to continue the building too.
Incredible stuff, incredible scenes. Amazing, really. I mean, I'm lost of words. I mean, back in the day, the classrooms were plush like
what
that.
What if you
right?
want to go back to school just to go study in that environment?
Maybe I don't want to go back to school, but the classroom was
You're
really.
scared of exam.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Let's go. You're
I don't want to
scared
go
of
back to
exam.
that kind of no. But I mean, incredible scenes. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I saw a classroom with a screen.
Well, it's become a thing.
Back in the day, it was some hard chairs, some hard wood.
And blackboard.
Yeah, and blackboard. Like, look at the sitting arrangement. Those days, it's shortest in front. Then the chair is there, and the table is there. Some hardwood decks.
Yeah.
But look at, this is nice.
Colourful.
The information. So you
Right.
have flags there of all countries. By the time they grow up, their current affairs knowledge is top notch. Because you ask them any question about any country,
Don't
know because they grew up learning about these countries through their flags and all of that. So, hey, congratulations, Yvonne. I mean, like I said, it's been a really torrid past year for her, but she's sort of weathered the storm, right? And talk about resilience.
She's turned that around,
Yeah,
and she's done good for herself.
Talk about resilience. Who else? I think she embodies that, and she's done that so well. I just hope that all that we are seeing, the fees, the fees,
but
the
you know,
fees is
what?
is manageable.
If you
I
can't
hope.
afford it, you find something that you can afford.
Easy,
but
easy.
everybody, yes, would want their child to go to such a school because this is amazing. And she's saying that congratulations to her. I'd love to go to that school or take my child to that school. So let's work harder and make money
it's a story
to
of
be able to
resilience.
afford.
It's a story of courage and determination, right? Bouncing back, and that's all. That's a lot of the things that we've been trying to push really on these platforms, telling stories like these, encouraging positive change. And I think Yvonne exemplifies that in a lot of ways.
Kudos to her and her new school.